I think I would be remiss if we did not mention also the importance this plays for the LGBTQ community.
Yes, sir.
As we've been talking about black women, this is big. So this is for the LGBTQ community. GLAAD releasing a statement, obviously, just I'm summarizing here that they're happy and it shows the struggles and the danger that members of the LGBT community face around the world. But when you look at what is happening with the LGBT community specifically here in the United States, what does this say? Does this bring attention to that? And it shows us, hey, look, we're all Americans.
Listen, Brittney Griner represents everything in this country. She's female, she's LGBTQ, she's black, and she's extraordinary. She's excellent. She's overcome. She's an icon. She's done everything you can do in her sport and more, and yet she still wasn't safe. She was snatched off of a plane and treated like trash. And we didn't let it stand. Americans came together. And I think that Biden and Kamala Harris, this is one of the things that they're going to be, I think, the most proud of. I think Americans can stand together on this one. But where we say that right now, when she comes off that plane, when she walks off that plane, when her wife hugs her, when that moment happens, that is going to be decade defining. People will remember that, and it should show us what we can do when we stand together. It can show us what we can do when we don't give up on people.
All right, guys, so I want to do a follow-up story real quick on the whole Brittney Griner situation, her being released from Russian prison in exchange for Victor Bout, a Russian arms dealer who conspired to try to kill Americans. He has been characterized as one of the most dangerous people on the planet. Yes, we traded him for a WNBA black lesbian instead of a Marine. Okay, that is what happened, right? And in response to that, you had some reactions that are normal, okay, that are totally justified, that a whole lot of people are feeling right now. Okay, a whole lot of people feeling right now, and it's gonna get to the point where if you start to say the things that most people feel about this, everybody knows that this is a sham, that Biden got shafted, that this is an embarrassment for us from a foreign policy perspective. They're going to say you're racist, right? They're going to say you're racist. They're going to say you're homophobic. They're going to blast you for it, okay? But one thing people got to remember is to stand up for your beliefs, to stand up for the things, again, that you believe, your opinions, and don't bend the knee to the mob like this guy, right? Who is a star player for the Dallas Cowboys, who initially came out and trashed Joe Biden for leaving a Marine behind in the prison swap. And then he immediately came out and apologized for not being educated on the topic after getting backlash from the mob. So I want to talk about this because, again, it's stuff like this, man, that really does kind of piss me off about people in this country and how much power the mob has. Okay, these are the same people that, again, complain about how bad black people have it and how bad gay people have it and such and such and such a victimhood. But to me, it seems like they're winning more than anybody else, right? Again, Brittney Griner, in my opinion, if she was not a black lesbian female, she would not have been released, okay? But she got released because she has privilege. She has quite a few infinity stones of wokeness, okay? And that goes a long way in today's society. That is currency. But again, Micah Parsons, like everybody else, when this first initially happened, was like, WTF, this is crazy. So let's read about this. Dallas Cowboys star Micah Parsons apologized after slamming President Joe Biden for leaving a Marine in a Russian prison after trading an arms dealer for WNBA star Brittney Griner in a prisoner swap. Griner, who was arrested in February on drug smuggling charges in Russia for bringing less than 1 gram of CBD oil into Russia, was part of a 1-for-1 prisoner swap for Russian arms dealer Victor Bout. Thursday morning, Bout, known as the Merchant of Death, was in American custody before the trade happened. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Okay, we're going to come back to that. Marine Paul Whelan, who has been in Russian custody for almost 4 years, was not a part of the prisoner swap. This led to Parsons' Twitter tirade Thursday morning when he saw a tweet from CBS White House correspondent Stephen Porno confirming that Whelan was not a part of the deal. Quote, "Wait, nah, we left a Marine. Hell nah," Parsons wrote in a tweet quoting Poor nose. Minutes later, Parsons quote tweeted a tweet by Biden's team with a picture of Griner's wife, Sherelle, hugging the president. Parsons deleted the tweet 2 hours later. Quote, "We still not voting for you," Parsons wrote before he deleted the tweet. Okay, so Micah Parsons here. Okay, he's getting into politics, right? He's one, pissed off that Joe Biden didn't secure the release of a Marine, which is understandable. And he's saying, "We still not voting for you," which is also understandable, right? I don't know who in this country would want to vote Democrat, but apparently there are people that do that, okay? It's kind of a shame. But clearly he does not like Joe Biden, right? He's not a fan of Joe Biden, and you already know what happened, okay? He got his lashes from the woke mob, right? They started coming out here and trashing him, okay, because he doesn't support Joe Biden, right? And Brittney Griner, okay? That's what happened. After Parsons received heavy backlash from people on Twitter, Parsons defended himself and claimed he does not support President Donald Trump, nor does he support President Biden. Quote, "My last tweet with no shot at Brittney Griner. I'm happy she's back home, as she should be. I just have family who served, and it's crazy to me the president wouldn't bring him home too. I'm the furthest thing from a Trump supporter, but I'm not a fan of Biden either." Yeah, so I don't see the point of this outside of trying to appease the mob. Well, I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm not a fan of Trump. Don't worry, guys. I'm not a Trump supporter. Again, it's a shame that we live in a society where people feel the need to do this, right? Where they feel the need to come out here just because they have a difference of opinion with Democrats to make it clear that they don't support Trump. Like, come on, bro. You're a grown man, bro. You're an NFL superstar. You don't have to grovel to these people, right? You don't have to grovel to these people because just the fact that you don't support Biden, they already gonna think what they gonna think. They already gonna think you a sellout, you a Tom, you this, you that. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to grovel to these people. It's the groveling that really gets me. It's the groveling that angers me. Stand on your opinions, bruh. Stand on your beliefs. You feel the exact same way a whole lot of people in this country feel. Everybody knows that Biden got gypped. Everybody knows. You got people like Bakari Sellers coming in and saying, "Slow down, my guy. You got too much dip on your chip. You should ask questions instead of making assumptions. The last two administrations have put forth great effort to bring home our Marine and will continue. He should be home. Today is a day we should rejoice." I don't know, man. I don't know. There are also other people, right, who were saying in his comment section that, you know, he wasn't educated on the issue, right? That the Biden administration couldn't bring Paul Whelan home. Like it wasn't an option. Now, there's been multiple accounts of what actually happened, right? Some people say it was a 2-for-2 that the U.S. actually offered. Some people say it was a 2-for-1, right? And then it eventually became a 1-for-1. In my opinion, I'm not believing anything a U.S. official says about this because they're going to say whatever it takes to make Joe Biden look good. They say, well, Paul Whelan was never really on the table, I think is nonsense. Because, again, we're talking about a guy who was an arms dealer who conspired to kill Americans, a very valuable individual to Russia, right? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about exchanging him if it was a 1-for-1, right? Let's say there was like, we're not doing Brittney Griner no matter what, right? But I'm just saying, in order to get that guy back for a guy, Paul Whelan, who Russia alleges was a spy, okay? And the U.S. is saying that that is incorrect. Regardless, that's still a pretty, like, that's a fair deal in my opinion, right? If Russia ain't trying to make that 1-for-1 trade, the Marine for the Russian arms dealer, I'm saying kick rocks, right? Kick rocks, and we leaving Brittney Griner over there, right? But what I'm not doing is saying, well, I can't get back to Marine. I'm just going to get Brittney Griner. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. They weren't really negotiating hard for Paul Whelan, and they did whatever they could do for the best PR stunt. That's what they did, right? The main target was never the Marine. It was always Brittney Griner, okay? And they were going to get her home no matter what, and Russia knew that. Russia knew they never had to exchange Paul Whelan, right? They knew they never had to come to the negotiating table because Biden wanted the PR win, which in my opinion, I think is going to backfire. I think a lot of people, when the dust settles, they're going to look at Biden and say this was a terrible trade, that this trade should not have been made. Again, especially if we're talking about, down the road in the future, and it comes back that this guy is back to his old, days, right, of trying to kill Americans. Not going to be a good look for Joe Biden, right? But I really do think, I got a feeling that I think Joe Biden just left this guy behind, right? And I'm not very positive that, Paul Whelan will actually be released. But yeah, this tweet right here from Micah Parsons, the apology is just pathetic. Parsons offered a full apology after he got more information about the U.S. government's effort to bring home Whelan. Quote, just spoke to some people that I respect and trust. I should have been more educated on the topic and not tweeted out of emotion for my family and others who have served. For that, I apologize. Also, if what I'm told about the attempts to bring Marine Paul Whelan home are true, then the best outcome was accomplished. It sounds to me like if you were initially misinformed, you got even more misinformed, right? Because again, this is what happens, right? The woke revolutionaries start putting their nonsense out there, and they really want this guy to believe, Michael Parsons, that Joe Biden could not have brought Paul Whelan home. That if it was a 1-for-1, he couldn't have got Paul Whelan home. When the reality is that he literally chose the best PR move over the Marine. That's what he did. I pray Mr. Whelan comes home, but I am extremely happy for Brittney and her family. I am not too proudful to admit when I made a mistake. No, well, you're just folding to the mob, right? You're bending the knee. They're calling you a sellout. They're calling you a Tom, and you're folding, right? You're folding, and it's sad. It's sad. This type of folding is exactly why Paul Whelan is not home, right? This type of cowardice is exactly why Paul Whelan is not home. You don't have to do this. You did not make a mistake. What you said was correct. Okay? Screw the mob, right? They're never going to be satisfied like this. This woman right here, who's super woke, a Kamala Harris stand, she says, if what I'm told about the attempts are true, the F you mean if they are true? The efforts to bring back Whelan were widely reported for months. Just admit you didn't care to learn ish about Whelan's case until you saw the administration had the audacity to make a deal to free a black woman. Yeah. So again, you still lose even if you apologize, buddy. So you don't ever apologize or bend to the woke mob. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.